All right, but before we do that, let's talk about crafting for a second. Let me go back and address Sly's question here. So you want to get all of your crafting skills up. Do skills to make money, or is there a real method to this crafting at all? Okay. One important thing to note when you're talking about crafting is there is something called a first craft bonus. Bonus. I'm trying to find something that I've crafted before. Oh yeah, here we go. So at some point in the past, in season 10, I crafted a spear, and any subsequent spear that gets created now is going to give me 60,264 engineering expertise. Okay. Now look at the hatchet. I've never crafted a hatchet in season 10. I've never crafted a 730 hatchet. Look at the expertise this one gives me. It gives me 140,616. And you might be thinking, well, shit, hatchets are the way to go then. If I want to get some expertise, let me go craft a bunch of hatchets. Well, hang on. That's not necessarily true. The reason this one is worth more experience than this one is because I've never crafted a hatchet before. Yeah, I see it, Fish. Thanks for hanging out, man. This is something called a first-time crafting bonus. If you've never crafted an item before, or a piece of furniture, or a piece of armor, or a weapon, or anything before, you get a little bonus from crafting it for the first time. And as soon as you craft that bonus goes away. It goes away and it becomes something like this, right? It gets reduced. So an easy little hack to get your crafting levels up way quicker is to only craft one of each thing. One of each thing when you're trying to get your levels up, right? So just get the mats together, craft one hatchet, craft one great axe, craft one longsword, craft one rapier, one kite shield, yada yada yada. Keep going down through all the stuff that you've never crafted before until you've exhausted all of your first time craft bonuses. And then once all your bonuses are done with, then you can start kind of just grinding one thing. Just grind one thing and get to get your crafting levels up. Make sense? Does the first time bonus thing make sense? All right. The next thing you can do for both armor, weapons, what else? Engineering stuff, is you've got these research notes. When you salvage something in your inventory, you have a chance for that component that you just salvaged to produce infused weapon scraps. You might already have some right now in your inventory or in your storage. And what you can do is, once you reach level 150 in a particular expertise, you can take these scraps to the workstation, and you can salvage those for experience. You can see that when I scrap these or salvage these, it's going to give me 30,000 weaponsmithing experience. And that's the purple ones. And when you salvage a legendary item, you'll get even more scraps. And they are worth even more. You can scrap 10 of them at a time for 58,800 weapon expertise. And so using the scraps and the purple scraps and the gold scraps, the legendary scraps, you should be able to, with as much looting as you're doing, like as much grinding as you're doing at cave, as many chests as you're hitting, as much gear as you're picking up on a daily basis, you should have a shit ton of these by the time you hit level 150 on a particular in a particular craft or in a particular aptitude, right? Particular skill is what I'm trying to say. And you should have a ton of these that you can chop up into even more experience. And my guess is that's probably going to get you maxed out. Probably. If you're grinding gear the way that everybody's grinding gear in season 10, that's gonna get you to max level real quick. Real quick. So that addresses engineering, weaponsmithing, armoring, just gear and weapons. It's going to work only on gear and weapons. If you want to get your experience on like tanning and smelting and oh, this will work for Arcana as well. It works for Arcana too. So there are Arcana. Yeah, here we go. There's Arcana fragments that you've got. You can get purple Arcana fragments as well, and it works on that. So let me ask you another question. Are you wanting to get your refining skills and your crafting skills maxed because you like being a completionist? Or is there something that you want to do once you get them maxed out? And the reason I ask is because in Season 10, the way things are, having all of that stuff maxed out isn't necessarily going to make you stronger. There are things that you'll be able to craft by yourself, like things like honing stones. Things like potions. I want to max them to make stuff for selling and helping my company out. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. That's good. That's good thinking. Because you're right. Crafting potions and honing stones and coatings and stuff like that. That stuff definitely sells pretty good. Now, with that in mind, what I would do is focus on two things. I would focus on weaponsmithing exclusively. Let's go over to the weaponsmithing station. Focus on weaponsmithing so that you can make honing stones. And you need to get your shit up to 170. Doesn't even need to be maxed out. You just need to be 170. Because I think honing stones still sell pretty well. You can make gemstone dust, which also sells really well. No, it's jewel crafting. Never mind. It's jewel crafting. Jewel crafting is so easy to level up, in my opinion, because as you're out there hitting rocks to get your stone cutting up and your mining level up, you're going to be proccing gems, and you can chop the gems up here at the armoring station for higher tier gems, or chop it up into gemstone dust, and you're just going to naturally be getting jewel crafting expertise. So getting your jewel crafting expertise up is really not difficult at all, as long as you're getting everything leveled at the same time. You know, as long as you're going through the progression of all the skills together. It's really not that bad. So yeah, so I'd be focusing on jewel crafting, on weaponsmithing, and on Arcana, because those three are going to be your real moneymakers. Those three are going to be your real moneymakers. Gemstone dust from jewel crafting, honing stones from weaponsmithing, and coatings and wards and serums. Serums sell really, really well from Arcana. Don't worry about armoring. I would not. Honestly, I wouldn't touch armoring at all. Armoring and engineering, I don't think engineering's worth it either. Neither of those produce anything that is worthwhile. Engineering, I think that like for armoring, the things that sell the best would be bags, but those are so fucking expensive to make, dude. Making bags is so expensive. Wait, hang on. I can trade these to you, can't I? Why am I doing this? I could potentially trade these to you and get your shit up. Yeah, I could. I'll start holding on to them. What about charms, chromatic seals, IMO, or a pain? I don't like faction quests. So with charms, I mean, I honestly wouldn't worry about crafting charms to make money. I wouldn't craft charms to make money. Finding charms, like looting charms, is the best way to make money. Finding them in chests, running when you're ready to run Hive of Gorgons. Hive of Gorgons is a great way to make money because first of all, when you do Hive of Gorgons, you make 1,000 gold right off the bat. You also get 10,000 faction tokens. 10,000 faction tokens every time you run Hive of Gorgons, just for completing it. And then you've got the faction quests that you get from the faction vendor for running Hive of Gorgons. And that's going to give you, like, I don't know, 6,000, anywhere from 2 to 6,000 additional faction tokens every time you turn those in. So you could be making anywhere from 12,000 to 16,000 faction tokens every time you run a Hive of Gorgons. You should also be doing your PvP missions daily. I know you don't like doing the faction quests. Nobody does. You get, just like you do for crafting, when you do a first-time bonus for crafting, you get a daily bonus for 3 faction missions. And what I do is every day I go out here to Elysian Wilds to Last Light, and I grab the PvP faction missions from Elysian Wilds. And every single day, I do this every single day. You probably see me do it. I go out and I run the PvP faction missions for Elysian Wilds. And with the daily bonus that you get, I've already run it today, so it's not gonna be accurate. But these 3 missions are literally the most valuable faction missions in the game. There are no 3 faction missions more valuable than these. You get more tokens, you get more PvP XP from these than from anything else. Actually, I think it's just faction tokens, but regardless. These are the best ones to do. So come out here and do them. Pick up all 3 of these, and then go run them. They're a little bit of a pain in the ass to run, but once you learn the rotation, it's really not that bad. You go out, you loot, you go to one place, you loot some chests, and then you go out to another place, you loot some more chests, and then you go stand on a little island for a minute and a half, and then you go turn in your missions. And once you've turned in all these missions, let me see if I can remember the math. It's I'm pretty sure it's 50,000 faction tokens. When you get your daily bonus for doing all 3 of these, you get 50,000 faction tokens just for doing that. And it takes about 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of your time, 10 to 15 minutes of your time. It's super easy. No need to grind, no need to go out to Great Cleave and fucking grind faction missions. I mean, if you want to get your PvP XP up, fine. Go do the Great Cleave route. But if you just want to make faction tokens so that you can buy your chromatic seals, go do this once a day. And then once you start getting into Hive of Gorgons, doing these once a day and doing your Hive of Gorgons a few times a week to get your Umbral Shards up will also naturally get your faction tokens up. Okay? And you'll never have a problem. Look at me. I got 277. And I buy chromatic seals many, many, many times a day. How many do I have right now? I got 3 chromatic seals. And that'll keep you in chromatic seals for yourself. I would not, honestly, I don't think it's necessarily worth crafting charms yourself with your own chromatic seals for money. I think what you need to do is, if you find a charm that you pick up in the open world from looting a chest or from running Hive of Gorgons, sell that charm on the market. Sure, go ahead and do that. But I'm not a big believer in selling charms for money. If you want to make money, go farm glyphs, go farm globs, go farm raw materials like stone and lodestone, and sell that stuff. Or even hyssop. Or do like you've already been talking about doing and get your crafting skills up and do regeneration serums, do that sort of stuff. Does cooking have any worth? Yes, cooking definitely has worth because you can cook. If you go like fishing or something, I don't know how you feel about fishing. I kind of like it. I think it's kind of fun. But if you fish or if you get any sumptuous rabbit or anything like that, then you can craft the big boy. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. You can craft the big boy strength food, dexterity food, and con food. I don't even know if I have any con food on me. I don't. And this stuff sells for a lot of money, dude. Not only does it sell for a lot of money, but you need it too. So you're either paying for it yourself off the marketplace, or you are crafting it yourself by gathering it out in the open world, the materials required to make it, and then taking it to a cooking station and cooking it for yourself. And when you do cook it, you proc extra. Yeah, here we go. Roasted rabbit. So I can make 3 of these times 3, so 9. So I'm going to make naturally 9 roasted rabbit, but I have a 134% chance to craft additional items because of the clothing that I'm wearing, because of the trophies that I have up in my house. I have a 134% chance to craft additional items. So 9 is the base number that I'm going to get back. Now watch how many I get back when I actually craft. Boom. I literally doubled. I doubled the number of roasted rabbit that I crafted because of this bonus. So you would have gone to the auction house and purchased 9 for, I don't know, 3,000 gold, 3,500 gold, something like that. They're pretty expensive. But I just made 7,000 gold or 8,000 gold by procking extra. I literally saved myself 8,000 gold by getting this stuff myself and crafting it myself at the cooking station. So yes, cooking is extremely worth it. Very worth. Highly worth. 10 out of 10 would recommend. An extra 1 or 2? No, it's big. It's big bonus. If you've got if you've got the major cooking trophies up in your house, in all 3 houses, you need to have 3 houses. You need to have the cooking trophies up in each one, and you need to have the chef's gear along with the cooking mastery earring. If you've got all that, you're going to proc lots of extra cooking stuff.